Welcome to the DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast. Welcome. How you guys doing today? Well, I want to thank you for stopping by and tuning in to the DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast. My name is Angela Potariel, and I'm super excited once again to be back here with you because we have a letter we need to discuss. That's right, you heard me. We have a letter we need to discuss because the issue at the heart of this letter happens all too often. And we got to be a little bit more diligent in doing our research before we go jumping into pools that look like they're going to quench our thirst. All right? So if this is your first time discovering or coming across the DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast so that you will not miss a brand new episode or when I go live. You don't want to miss it. Now, you can join the chat over on my hosting site, which is on Podbean. So you would go to divaspeaks.podbean.com, or you can follow wherever you get your podcast from. But when I go live, if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you got something you want to say, if you want to chime in, you definitely want to be over on Podbean. So make sure you download the Podbean app and follow so you can be amongst the beautiful people who are a part of the DivaSpeaks Relationships conversation. That's right. Also, if you haven't had a chance to follow DivaSpeaks Relationships on social media, you can find DivaSpeaks on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, the hottest new app out there. You cannot not be on TikTok. That's right. You can find DivaSpeaks Relationships on TikTok. My handle on TikTok is DivaSpeaks Relationships and the number 1. That's right. DivaSpeaks Relationships, the number 1. So make sure you follow me on all platforms. You come across something you like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hit the like button. I want to comment your thoughts respectfully, because if you come disrespectful, I delete and block. No apologies. I don't feel any type of way about it, because this type of platform and these conversation and my content is reserved for the grown and sexy and of course mature. So if you are unable to communicate your thoughts, your comments, how you're feeling respectfully, keep it pushing over there on somebody else's platform. I don't have time for that mess. Come correct or you get blocked and deleted, and that's it. So anyway, I want you to like, follow, comment, subscribe, and share. That's what we do over here. The grown and sexy section of the relationships culture section. Okay, this is what we're doing over here. All right. So if you have not heard, and again, if you're new and if you forgot, since the last time we met, the DivaSpeaks has her own Roku channel. Make sure that you add the channel to your Roku device. That's right. DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel is available on your Roku television. Make sure that you add my channel to your device, because before I send the shows out anywhere, I'm talking about the televised show, the televised and the ministry, the televised ministry aspects of it, it will always go to DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel. That's right, and amen. That's right. DivaSpeaks Relationships Ministry is also now available and streaming on the Now Television Network's Roku channel and Intel Satellite Television. So if you need some spiritual encouragement and motivation and a biblical perspective for what you may or may not be going through or have just come out of, make sure that you tune in on Thursdays at 5 a.m. to the Now Television Network or Intel Satellite Television. It's on 7 different channels. Glory be to God. That's right. 7 different channels. On Intel Satellite Television, you can find DivaSpeaks Relationships Ministry, and I'm going to circle it right back. You can also find it on the DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel. And last but definitely not least, I have to always show mad love and respect to where it all started, who gave me my first shot at television, which is Access 21, right here out of the Queen City. That's right. Do not despise the days of humble beginnings. So if you do not have a Roku device and you're unable to access the DivaSpeaks Relationships talk show, or download my Roku channel, no fears, no worry. You can catch it live streaming on Access 21. You can live stream it from the television station's website, which is tvaccess21.com. You can, if you have a Roku device, you can go to their Roku channel, which is Access 21. Or if you have Spectrum cable and or AT&T Uverse, you can access it on Spectrum on channel 21 or AT&T Uverse channel 99 every second and fourth Friday of the month at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did you catch that? That's right. I said it, and I'm going to say it again. If you missed it, you can catch the DivaSpeaks Relationships talk show, the televised talk show, every second and fourth Friday of the month at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay, on Access 21, Spectrum Cable, as well as AT&T Uverse. You said it. I said it. You heard it. That's how we roll it, okay? So, guys, buckle up because we have a letter, and I need to share it with you guys because this happens far too much to too many people, mainly women, and we need to talk about it. But we're going to chop it up in this letter. I'm going to dispense some advice, and then you know what I want you to do? I want you to comment if you've ever been in this situation, wherever you're going to catch this particular podcast from on that particular platform. I want you to give some feedback if you or someone you know has been in a similar situation, and how did you handle it, okay? And if you want a shot at the mic and telling your story, make sure you hit me up in my email. My email address is divaspeaksofficial@gmail.com. I will open up the mic for you to tell your story. All right, amen. Guys, let's get into it, okay? That's what we're about to do. We're about to get into it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my glasses, guys, because I keep it 100, but my vision ain't quite 20/20 anymore. Don't you hate on the diva. I'm telling it like it is, okay? All right, so we got a letter from a young lady, and the caption is, I didn't know about his wife. Okay? I'm reading it exactly how I feel she was saying it, okay? I didn't know about his wife. Okay? So buckle up, here we go. So I met a guy recently and we instantly hit it off. Okay, you hit it off instantly, okay? Nothing like that, instant chemistry, yes. After exchanging numbers, we talked for a few days and then went on a date. Okay, he was getting into it, wasn't he? All right, he didn't waste no time. The date was fun and we continued to talk every day after. I thought it was a little weird how many very personal questions he asked right away. He was sure to ask how many men I've been with and if I'm seeing someone. That, not so weird. We got physical pretty fast and were immediately crazy about each other. The sex was great, and he would ask me to come spend all of my free time with him outside of work. He was contracted to work in my hometown and had a house in another state that he had shared with his wife. He told me the first night we met that he was divorced and seemed pretty heartbroken still, so I tried not to talk about it. I even told him that if he still loved her, that we did not need to pursue anything. One of his trips back home, he started to get a little distant, not texting back, calling as much as usual. I asked him a few times about it, and he said that he had a lot on his mind. After after about a week of it, I told him I was gonna back off and give him his space, and he replied that he was just going through some stuff and apologized. After feeling weird about it for too long, I dove down the Google rabbit hole. He didn't have any social media, and I knew that, but found listed as a survivor along with his wife's. So I decided to snoop on her. Turns out her Facebook still listed her as married and all kinds of photos of them. I text him a picture and ask, "You sure you're not divorced?" I instantly blocked him out of rage and hadn't heard anything since from him. In the middle of the night, I text him again telling him that I had half the heart to tell his wife. Apparently, he told her because she reached out to me the next day and let me know that she was 8 months pregnant. I'm disgusted. I'm brokenhearted. He seems so perfect. How was I blindsided by this? He talked to me about wanting kids and how he wanted to take care of me. We had so many similar interests and connected so well. I'm still so sad. I think about him every day. I have no closure and just have to sit with the idea of being the other woman, the side chick, and all the lies he told me. First of all, how do I heal from this? And how do I move on with no closure? Ooh, okay, that was a lot, guys. I told you, this ain't nothing that you haven't heard before. So, our good sister wrote in, if you're just now tuning in, and she writes, "I didn't know about his wife." And as the letter, as I read the letter, as the letter continues to unfold, she didn't. She had no idea this man who came into her life and love bombed her and rushed and moved things pretty quickly along in the relationship and then dipped out on her. You can see why he did so. But let's get back to addressing you, my good sister. How do you move on with no closure? First and foremost, you're going to have to. You're going to have to, because this man really doesn't have to give you anything. He doesn't have to give you anything. There's no rule written that anyone that breaks your heart or is deceptive or deceives you or treats you poorly or finesses you, plays you, there is no rule that is written that they are required to give you closure. Closure is something that you're going to have to give yourself. Closing the door on a situation where you got deceived and tricked into something that, had you had prior knowledge of their true set of circumstances, more than likely you would not have pursued it or allowed yourself to have been pursued or gotten yourself in this particular entanglement. How do you move on? You start with understanding that you could have done a better job with at least trying to find out the information that you needed to make a educated decision on if you needed to get involved with this man. You see how when your intuition kicked in, what it did for you, it motivated you to go down what you described in your letter as the Google rabbit hole. Now, had you done your due diligence prior to the intuition kicking in or before you got intimate with this gentleman, you would have found this information out way before you laid down and opened up and opened your legs to this man. You see, what you've done in the aftermath is what you should have done in the very beginning. This is how you can prevent this from happening to you again. I said it in another show that I have not, side note, I haven't been able to produce at this time and get it out to all of my followers. I said it, sometimes you got to take the L. Sometimes you got to take the L because it will be instrumental in the lesson that you should have learned, in the lesson that you need to learn, in the lesson that will impact your life for the rest of your life. If you take this L, then you'll know the next time you get involved with a guy that you need to slow it down with getting intimate with him so fast, number one. Number two, believing what he told you as though it's facts without anything to back it up. Had you taken your time, had you done your due diligence, had you went down the Google rabbit hole prior to just accepting what he was telling you as facts, you could have prevented all of this. You see, you can be mad at him. Yes, he lied to you. He deceived you. He's a married man with a baby on the way. How disgusting of him. He's a no good, lying, cheating husband who knew that he was on the verge of getting caught. That's why he went ahead and told his wife. And if that don't tell you anything, let me tell you this, that I think that when you described in this part of the letter, and for those of you who just now are tuning in, I'm going to reread the letter and recap it. I'm not going to leave you just sitting out there in the dark. But there's a part in the letter when you say on one of his trips back home, he got a little distance. He stopped texting back. He wasn't calling you as much. You addressed it with him, and he fed you bullshit. He said that he had a lot on his mind, and he apologized. But then I want to take that back. I don't want to say it was bullshit, because he was probably right. He did have a lot on his mind. Perhaps his conscience kicked in, and it really kicked in going back home and looking at his pregnant wife, the woman that he married, the woman that is about to have his baby, the woman that's 8 months pregnant. He realized he done messed up. He realized in his conscience, his moral compass more than likely kicked in. And that is why he got silent. He stopped calling you as much. He stopped responding, because he knew not only had he betrayed his wife, had he broken his vows, but he lied to you and pulled an innocent woman into an adulterous affair that should never have happened. And he had no way to tell you. He had no way to tell you. So what he did was he came clean to his wife. You want to know why? Because that's the relationship that he had a light bulb moment that kicked in that he did not want to lose. Losing you was not a problem, because he was never going to keep you, because he got lies. He fed you lies in order to lure you into that particular, I don't even want to say you had a relationship. It was just, a few sexual encounters. He got what he wanted, and he was, he moved on with his life. He went on back home to his pregnant wife, came clean, and she called you to tell you. Your feelings are valid. What you're feeling is probably normal for the situation that you are in. I can say that, if any woman was in your shoes, they would be disgusted as you are. They would be hurt as you have been. They would want to scream. They would be angry, of course, because he lied to you. He lied to you, and he didn't have to. He had no business being up in your face. He had no business making false promises. He had no business being in your bedroom, and definitely in your lady parts. But I need you to take responsibility of the role that you played with being so gullible and naive and trusting and accepting to the lies that he was feeding you. So again, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and reread. I'm going to try to do parts of the letter because it is a little bit long, and our good sister has been brokenhearted and, blindsided by this married man who came into her life, fed her a bunch of lies, got his rocks off, got a wet one, and went on back home to another state and resumed his married life with his very pregnant wife. This is what the Joker did. But this is how the letter our good sister wrote in goes. I met a guy recently, and we instantly hit it off. After exchanging numbers, we talked for a few days and then went out on a date. The date was fun, and we continued to talk every day. I thought it was a little weird how many very personal questions he asked right away. He was sure to ask how many men I've been with, and if I am seeing someone. We got physical pretty fast, and we were immediately crazy about each other. The sex was great, and he would ask me to come spend all my free time with him outside of work. He was contracted to work in my hometown and had a house in another state that he had shared with his wife. He told me the first night we met that he was divorced and seemed pretty brokenhearted, so I tried not to talk about it. I even told him that if he still loved her, that we did not need to pursue anything. One of his trips back home, he started to get a little distant, not texting back, calling as much as usual. I asked him a few times about it, and he just said that he had a lot on his mind. About a week of it, I told him I was gonna back off and give him his space, and he replied that he was just going through some stuff and apologized. After feeling weird about it for too long, I dove down the Google rabbit hole. He didn't have any social media, and I knew that, but found an old obituary from a family member that had passed last year. His name was listed as a survivor along with his wife's. So I decided to snoop on her. Turns out her Facebook still listed her as married and had all kinds of photos of them. I text him a picture and ask, you sure you're divorced? I instantly blocked him out of rage and haven't heard anything since from him. In the middle of the night, I text him again, telling him that I had half the heart to tell her, his wife. Apparently, he told her because she reached out to me the next day and let me know she was 8 months pregnant. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. You know, it sounds like this man was having his fun while he was away from home. He was bored and thought it was appropriate in those moments to break his vows and to fulfill his sexual needs with you and involve you, a single woman, into an adulterous affair. My good sis, I understand that you're brokenhearted and you're disgusted. You have every reason to be. This man lied to you and made you part of something that you did not want to be a part of, which is, an adulterer. You're disgusted because he lied. He made you promises that he could not fulfill, because you mentioned that he said he wanted to have kids, and he's talking all this mess and feeding you all these lies when he know good and damn well that he's got a baby on the way. His wife is 8 months pregnant. And mind you, we'll never know because you blocked him. You said you let him know that you knew. You said, are you sure you're not divorced? And then you blocked him out of race. So you really didn't get an opportunity to find out if he even responded, apologized, or tried to explain it away. But I tell you what he did do. He hid behind his wife. That's what he did. Because instead of you being able to let the cat out the bag to her, homeboy jumped in front of you, went ahead and confessed to his wife. Okay, and she reached out to you. Let me tell you how. Because he gave her your information. He came clean. All of those times when he wasn't calling you back, and all of the time that you noticed there was a change in his attitude and his demeanor, and the way he was acting when he wasn't calling back, he's not as responsive, all of that was his conscience kicking in, because he knew he'd done the woman that he made vows to, he'd done her dirty. You cheating on your wife and she's 8 months pregnant. His conscience was kicking in, but he wasn't man enough to face you. He got her to do it. That's what kind of man he is. And thank God that's the type of man that you don't have to have a part of your life. That's her problem. It's unfortunate that she got herself a no good piece of crap, lying, cheating husband that she can't trust to go out here and make a living and keep his you-know-what in his pants, instead from, I don't know what kind of woman she is. I don't know really what type of marriage they have overall. But as a woman, I'm pretty sure that even if she never speaks a word of this, if they decide to put it behind him, that it will always be in the back of her mind when she has to send him off to work, because he's a contractor and he has to travel for work and sometimes be gone away from the home months at a time. She's going to wonder, is he doing it again? That's not your problem. That's hers. That's not your problem. It's hers. Thank God those are not your problems. She may be the wife, but she got a man that does not value the vows. She's got a man that she can't trust to go to work and pay the bills and make the money, because he's going to be out here doing what with another woman just like you. That will always be with her. Her burden, her problem. Now I can just encourage and say to you, let this be a learning experience for you. The next time you decide to allow a guy to move you pretty quickly or fast in the relationship or in your dealings with one another, what you want to do is pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes and ask yourself, why are we moving so fast? What's the rush? Because the last time I did this, I found out something in the aftermath that could have prevented me from moving forward and getting my heart broke. You ask, how do I move on with no closure? My good sister, you're going to have to. You don't have a choice. He's not your man. He's not your husband. You don't have any children with him, thank God. You don't have any other choice unless you want to stay stuck in this particular season of your life. And why would you want to do that when you have a whole life to live? You will find love with someone who won't treat you like this, with someone who's not married, and unless you want it to be somebody's plaything, honey, you're just going to have to make up in your mind, I got to live with the fact that I allowed myself to be a part of a situation that didn't turn out so well for me. This man got what he wanted and he went on about his life. The sooner that you can accept that, the sooner that you can accept that there's nothing that you can do in this moment, as it turns out, there's no type of way that you are going to be able to get even, to make him pay. The wife already knows. He's chosen to shut down. You say you blocked him. You found out the information. What more is there to do but move on with your life? You got your closure. You need to accept it. Let me tell you this again, my good sister. You have your closure. You just need to accept it at this point. You have everything you need. You got the information. The lies have been exposed. The truth has been revealed. It's over. He's not coming back. He has a whole wife and child on the way. He has a family that he's created, that he's started. Accept it. Move on with your life. There is better out there for you. And real love is out there for you, good sis. Love is out there. Real love is out there waiting on you. The sooner you can get past this and accept the closure and move on with your life, close this chapter, try not to think about it so much, the sooner that you can see the available and the options that are available for you out there. You ain't got to just lay down and die and act like there's no one out there for you. You had a good time with the lies, with an adulterer, with a cheater. And even if you would have never found out, the reality is you were the side chick. Even if you never found out, you were the mistress and the side chick. Even if he never told you and you never found out, I need you to get it through your head that you were never going to be his wife because he already got one. You were going to forever be the side chick. Because had he never told you and had he had his way, you would have never found out. You was going to be thinking that it was going to be more than what it was when it never was going to be. You were going to think you was holding a certain position in his life when you weren't. And that's not fair. That's not, oh, excuse me, guys. That's not fair to you. That is absolutely not fair to you. So I know you're going to struggle with this for a while. I need you to understand that these feelings are normal. The grief that you're feeling, the sadness, the brokenheartedness, that will only last for a moment. That's not going to last forever. I give you a few weeks, even a couple of months, and this will be something behind you. You will get through it, good sis. Love is out there waiting on you. I'm just glad that you found out what you needed to know. I've given you the answers that you're looking for, which is how to get that closure, accept it, and move on with your life. He doesn't owe you anything. He's not coming back and begging you back on his knees. He's not going to divorce his wife for you. He's got a baby on the way. He's got a whole family in a whole nother state, a whole nother life that you didn't know nothing about. He didn't come forward with. He wasn't going to tell you it's time to move on. You can do it. Girl, us women have done far more harder things than what you have just suffered. Okay? Many of us, men and women alike, have been deceived. We've been lied to. And, as things progressed in the circumstances that we were in, we come to discover things that had we known those things prior to getting involved with certain individuals, we would have never moved forward. It happens to the best of us. Most of us got a story like that. You are not the first. You will not be the last. You are not alone. And most of us have pushed past it. And you can do it too. So, I don't know if you guys can relate, if you know of someone that has been through this, or if you or someone you know have been through this. But the moral of the story is, do your due diligence. Don't allow people to move you so quickly and so fast into these types of relationships that, will end up leaving you feeling used, confused, feeling like, you are hopeless or helpless. You can help yourself right on in to feeling better, because you deserve to feel better. It's not fair what happened to you. If you or someone this has happened to, it's not fair, it's not right, but don't sit there in that moment. Move past it. Don't be anybody's victim. Don't allow anyone to put you into a victim mentality. It happened. You can move past it. You can absolutely have love in your life again. And you know what? A love that won't leave you feeling broken and deceived and used. This has been another exciting as well as educational episode on the DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast. I want you guys to go and visit my website, which is diva-speaks-official.com. Visit my website, because if you go to my website, I got some tools and resources over there for you guys that will help you. You got to search for it. I can't exactly say what it is because I want to surprise you. Get on over there. Diva, the dash symbol, speaks-official.com. Diva-speaks-official.com. Go over to my website. Take a look around, check it out. I got some tools and resources for you, and some spiritual supplements that you may find useful in your relationships. Okay, this podcast was produced using the facilities of the Charlotte Mecklenburg Public Access Corporation, Access 21. Again, my name is Angela Patariel, and I thank you for tuning in to the Diva Speaks Relationships Podcast. I want you guys to subscribe. Tell a friend, share, comment. And once again, on our way out, this podcast was produced using the facilities of the Charlotte Mecklenburg Public Access Corporation, Access 21.